Caroline and Kate. We're here in Orlando with ASICS, and we've got Paul who's gonna walk us through the new ASICS Metaspeed Paris series.
And then we actually get to demo them on the treadmill. So we're gonna try them out for the very first time and give you our thoughts on how they feel.
And then we're going to Disney.
We really are in real life! Yee!
Hey, it's Caroline with Fleet Feet, and we've got Paul from ASICS here. He's gonna walk us through the new Metaspeed Paris series.
Paris.
Do I have to do all that over now?
No, just keep going. Just say
Okay,
Paris.
the Metaspeed Paris series with the Metaspeed Edge and the Metaspeed Sky.
So both of the shoes are going to get a brand new foam called Flight Foam Turbo Plus. It's lighter and softer than it was previously. The shoes respectively are going to come in 22 grams lighter on the Sky and 25 grams lighter on the Edge. It's more breathable than it was in the past. We've improved the last or the foot form that it's built on, so it's a little bit of a better fit. So in the past, they've been different offsets and heights. Now they're both at the same height, so we're stacked at that max in the back at 40 millimeters. They're 5 millimeter offsets, so we go to a 35 millimeter in the forefoot, so you get as much stack as we can. But the big differences that are going to come in are where the plates are shaped. So on the Sky, what we've got is a plate that kind of starts in the middle and the back of the foot, and it really just kind of sandwiches right along the top of that midsole. So we've got so much foam under the shoe to really be displaced as someone who's landing a little bit more strongly on the forefoot or midfoot is running. Now the Edge is a different type of setup where the plate starts in the same area in the back, but as it moves forward in the shoe, it actually moves under the forefoot. So we've got a lot more foam on top of that plate, and the way that plate is curved and kind of almost like a scoop, it's a much more smoother kind of feel underfoot. So with Sky, a little bit more pop or power. With Edge, a little bit of a smoother feel underfoot. The other big difference is the Edge has gained 3 millimeters of foam in the forefoot this year, so we've given it all this extra stack, but we still have maintained that weight loss. 25 grams less weight with 3 millimeters more in the forefoot. So super lightweight, breathable, more energetic.
You had mentioned this is good for cadence runners, and this is good for people who open up their stride as they tend to run fast, but I sort of thought that cadence runners were the ones who land more on their midfoot.
So it depends. Everybody's a little bit different. You know, we've set the shoes up based off some research from our Institute of Sports Science. You know, we found that some of the forefoot runners were a little bit more powerful, but that's not to say that that's the case for everybody. The best scenario is if you get an opportunity to try them both. Personal preference is always going to be the most important. You want to go with what feels comfortable, what feels natural. When you're natural, you're relaxed, you run fast, you run PRs.
Paul, what's the range of cadence that you were seeing from like a relative standpoint? Is it like a cadence of 80 to 90 or 160 to 180, or was it like bigger?
So it's not necessarily the set cadence, but it's the increase in cadence. And so a stride runner typically keeps the same cadence rate, but their stride is opening up, it's becoming longer, and so that's how they're gaining speed. Where a cadence runner is increasing their cadence. Their stride is probably staying pretty close in length, but they're increasing that turnover, and by increasing that cadence, they're moving a little bit faster.
I like how you answered that while we're moving out of the way for cars. So
Say USATF Toyota official vehicle. So
official business people moving through. Oh gosh, we got more cats coming through. Hi guys. Hi.
So the stripe in the forefoot acts to tell two stories. One, it shows the angle of the foot as we move forward, but two, it actually shows the difference between the shoes. The line between the two colors is where the plate sits. So you can see on something like the Sky, where there's more of the color underneath, we've got more foam layered under that plate. On the Edge, there's more foam that sits over top of the plate. So that's actually an indicator of what shoe you have, where the color sits.
Which shoe would you pick?
I would try them both and find what I'm most comfortable in. It's hard to be so prescriptive. I think a lot of it is about what makes yourself comfortable, and that's why going to a store like Fleet Feet, where you can try the shoes on and understand, is really the best way to do it.
Good plug.
Yes, and Paul is right. Comfort is key. Comfort is king. So we always tell people this when you come into Fleet Feet. Just go with whatever feels the most comfortable and natural, because that's ultimately going to be the shoe that's best for your foot.
Anything else, Caroline?
No.
What are we doing next?
Okay, now we have a little bit of a better idea of what to expect when Kate and I go inside and demo these shoes on the treadmill.
What do you have on?
Oh, okay, so this is the Metaspeed Edge that I have on right now.
They feel really nice and smooth.
They feel good. They're pretty firm.
It's like smooth with a little bit of a bounce.
What do they feel most similar to? Other
Maybe the Hoka Rocket X2, kind of similar to that.
I think I really like the fit. I think this is a really exciting shoe to race in. It feels good running fast.
So we just finished testing the Metaspeed Edge and the Metaspeed Sky. I definitely prefer the Sky. It feels a lot more smooth and natural.
I really liked both of them. I tried the Edge first and the Sky second. I'm kind of leaning toward the Edge, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's kind of hard to describe. It's like you have to just sort of let your body decide what feels best. Give them a try them on. If you can do a treadmill in the store or at your Fleet Feet, usually you can just kind of run down the sidewalk and do a few strides and see what feels the best for you.
Yeah, be sure to check them out at your local Fleet Feet. Thanks, everyone.